I can go. Yes. Denver, what is wrong with you? Are you guys good? Hi everyone, I hope that you all have a great new week. New week means new vlog, so we are going to do an entirely new vlog video. I slept with overnight curls in my hair last night because I finally got the mousse that I need just to go and do the overnight curls. My hair is naturally straight and does not hold curls all that well. So I think it looks good. This is the first time I've really attempted it after getting my hair cut, and I'm going to try to practice over the next few days just to decide if I do want to do this before the day of our engagement photos, or if I'd like to just go in with my natural hair. I feel like going and doing my natural hair would probably be the best choice, but do I make things easy? No, I do not. So we shall see. I might try. I usually do it at night when my hair is still like a little bit damp, and then I put mousse in and do the whole overnight curl thing. So I think last night my hair might have been a little bit too dry. This side is really good, and I think I did this one a little bit tighter, whereas this one was a little bit more loose, and I also do tend to sleep on my left side as well. So yeah, I'm gonna try that again and see how things go. I think I've also gotten majority of the clothes that I'm thinking about wearing for the engagement photos, so I'll be trying those on this week. Depending on how I feel, maybe I'll show y'all on camera what the outfits look like and what I'm thinking, and then depending on the outfits that I like, then I'll have Charles try to match what I'm wearing, just because I think that would be really cute to kind of color coordinate for the photos. And then I also need to figure out what Nugget is going to have as well. I'd like her to have a bandana on, but I don't know if I want it to say like I do too, or have the date of the wedding on it. I'm not quite sure, so I'll have to go and take a look at that. But yeah, that's kind of how things are. I'm getting ready to go and log into work, and we'll see how today goes. I have a video that is also going to be going live today. I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that it seems like I'm gonna have 2 videos every week. That is a little bit weird for me, but since I'm not doing Booktober, it's kind of nice that even though I'm not doing that, I'm kind of doing it in my own way, which is a little bit different. But yeah, I'll see how it goes, and if you guys are liking this change to my channel so far, let me know down in the comments below. But I'll talk to y'all in a bit because I need to get my tea ready and hop into work. I was asked for a new plant update, so here is our little ping. I don't know, it's not really focusing on the ping itself. There we go. Here is the ping. She has definitely sprouted some new leaves and everything, and I'm very happy about that because I was worried this spot just didn't really get all the sunlight that I was hoping. But she's thriving, she's doing well, and she hasn't caught any fruit flies or gnats yet, but I'm hoping that once she gets a little bit bigger that maybe she will. And yeah, here's hoping. Also, my eczema is not great on my hand right now, but I got some more cream, so hopefully that will help. Yeah, this is where she is on the bookshelf, and very, very cute. Good morning. So, got a Cicero on my lap, also on my camera because I left my actual camera on my bookshelves, so we are on my phone currently. I didn't really do great about leaving updates yesterday. I don't know, I kind of felt like just relaxing in all the cozy vibes after work and reading my book, but also watching scary movies. I do need to try to go through the list of scary movies that I showed y'all in the back of the one book I read. Cicero is just so comfy. He's my little companion. Whenever it gets cold and stuff like that, he loves going and cuddling up, which is fine unless I need to go to the bathroom. Then I have to break the very important rule of don't move a cat when they're sleeping. But when you gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta go. So that's usually when I'll move Cicero. I did the heatless curls again last night. I had my hair a little bit more damp, and the curls do look pretty good. So I'm gonna try this again because like some of them, as you can see, are a little bit falling apart. So I'm still gonna test this out. I have one more week left until engagement photos, so I can figure out if I want to have my hair curly or if I'd rather have it straight. So we shall see. I'm definitely going back and forth, and like I could go and curl my hair, but unfortunately, since it's going to be at 8 a.m. in the morning, I don't know how well that's going to go because I do have IBS, and when I'm excited or nervous about something, you know, obviously that freaks my body out. So the thing is, like, I'd rather have less things to worry about that morning, aside from obviously getting dressed, doing my makeup, and we have to also get Nuggie ready so we can bring her too. So ideally I'd like to not have to curl my hair, so if I had to just do something like this, that would be the easiest, or of course keeping my hair natural, which would be straight. So we shall see, but I'll continue giving you updates. Cicero will too.
Oh, you got your treat? Yeah. Good baby, huh?
Good girl. Hi everyone. So Charles has left to go to his counseling trip. If you can't tell, a lot of these vlogs are kind of later than when they happened, so by the time you're seeing this, Charles is of course going to be home right now, but currently they went to their counseling conference, so it's just Nuggie, me, and the boys right now. And I am about to go and wash my makeup brushes. I have them in my little bag right here. I need to go and wash them basically before engagement photos because we're going to be doing them next weekend, and I'd like my makeup brushes to be all nice and clean and just hopefully help eliminate any makeup issues that I might have with them, because it's probably been months since I last washed them. And when it comes to foundation, I've just usually been applying them with my fingers, which is fine, but I'd rather kind of have a little bit more control when I get ready for my makeup photos, my engagement photos. So I'm gonna work on that. I did not go and check in yesterday for the vlog at all because we went for a walk with Nugs, which we've been trying to do more of just because we've been so bad about walks with how hot it was this summer. And honestly, I felt really lightheaded after yesterday's walk. I don't know if it was because I've been so bad about taking my iron. I'm anemic, so that might have had something to do with it. So I just didn't do any check-ins yesterday, but I'm good today. I just finished my work day. So like I said, gonna wash my makeup brushes, and then after that, I'm going to put together some dinner for myself and then probably work on editing a vlog that needs to go up this week. My game plan for October has been one bookish video and then a vlog, just because I'm not doing Booktober, and I thought like that would be kind of fun, especially since I've wanted to really incorporate some other stuff aside from just book only videos. So I've always really enjoyed vlogs, but they've always been something that's been very difficult for me to go and film. So this is a little bit of a challenge for myself, and yeah, I hope you're enjoying it so far, but I'm gonna go and get things set up so I can wash my makeup brushes and then have dinner. Makeup brushes are all nice and clean, so that is good. That task is done. Also, while I was cleaning, I decided to listen to Taylor Swift's new album, Life of a Showgirl. I have not listened to it, and it's been, I think, around a week now. So I listened to a few songs. I think Opalite was the one that I liked the most so far, and I still need to listen to more, but yeah, I just decided to listen to that while I was going and washing my makeup brushes. But I think I'll probably continue listening to it a little bit later. I don't really have any rush to listen to it. I honestly was a Swiftie like years ago. I don't know if I'd label myself as Swiftie anymore, but I do enjoy going and looking back at her music. I thought the songs were good. They were kind of more upbeat. You can definitely tell she's at a better, healthier point of her life, and I'm happy for her and how things are going. So yeah, I'll just probably listen to the music here and there. Okay, so I'm reading Immortal Dark, and it's kind of been slow going for me just because fantasy, especially with more complex world systems, takes a little bit longer for me to get into. And so with this one, I have to read y'all a quote or like a little paragraph because I got a really good giggle from this. So it says, "This is the issue with our world. All life is equal and each death should hurt the same. The loss of one finger should cut as deeply as a hand." GK said, more animated than ever. Yusuf yawned. "I don't know. I think everyone wouldn't mind losing the ring finger. I mean, what does it really do?" They all stared at him. Yusuf blinked. "Well, we can't lose the middle finger. It would be a tragedy." Oh my god, that got a good giggle from me. Something I really like to do, it's just my sense of humor, is I like doing jokes regarding my limb differences. So sometimes I might do a joke, like if someone says, "What happened to your middle finger?" and I'll say, "Oh, I got hungry and ate it." Just little jokes here and there. That's kind of my sense of humor. So reading this little paragraph just really got me, and I just had to share it. Good morning. So we are going to be heading over to Kohl's. I actually have a gift card that Charles's mom gave me a couple Christmases ago, and I lost it and then just ended up going and finding it. It was kind of shoved into the drawers of my nightstand. So I found it, and we're going to head over to Kohl's just to pick up Charles a couple of outfits that might go and match what I have planned for engagement photos. And then unfortunately, a few of the outfits that I got do not fit right. So I'm going to be looking for a white top. But this is kind of the outfit that I have. Let's see. This is kind of the outfit cardigan that I have. I really like the idea of this and then layering with a white top, but I need to find something that will fit properly. So that is something that I'm looking for. And then I also do have some makeup coming in that will be a little bit more ideal for photos because the stuff that I have on is more SPF, which tends to be a little bit more greasy and shiny. So that should be here sometime this coming week, as well as Nugget's little bandana that has our wedding date on it. So I'm very excited to get those, but yeah, I'm not too thrilled about the outfits that I ordered for engagement photos not fitting properly. I had this lovely idea in my mind and they just didn't fit. One of the shirts I ordered in large just to make sure that it fit properly because it is an Australian company. And it literally looks like it's an extra small. It just doesn't fit right, and it's supposed to be off the shoulders. It doesn't look good, so I'm gonna look for a white top that I can go and pair with this little cardigan thing, and I think that will look really nice. And I think the other outfits that I ordered will work, but yeah, the white top just completely didn't fit the image, didn't fit what I had in mind, so I'm very bummed about that. And I'm not really a fashion girly. I dressed for comfort, so when I do go and venture out and try to find clothes that fit the image, it just makes it even more devastating, I guess. So that's the update there. We're gonna head over to Kohl's, and then we also need to grab some groceries, get Nuggy some more food and everything, and then after that we're gonna have couch time. Charles and I are planning on watching Love is Blind, the Denver one. So I went to Denver for college for 4 years, and then I lived in the Denver area I think for at least 3 more years after that. And so I was very nervous because I was like, oh no, what if one of my exes is on this show? That will be very interesting. However, I lucked out. None of my exes are on the show, but I have heard that this season is very toxic, and some people are like, Denver, what is wrong with you? Are you guys good? And to that, I will answer no. Denver is a horrible dating scene, and that's why I had to venture out to find my now fiance. Denver is just not it for dating. And apparently a lot of the people that they chose for the show aren't even native Denver people, which from my experience, a lot of the toxic relationships I was in, most of them were not native to Denver. Only one of them was. He was a narcissist, and I definitely had a lot of healing therapy after that relationship, needless to say. But yeah, that's kind of the game plan for today. I've been horrid at picking up my camera and anything. I do have a pimple that broke out, but like I was saying to Charles earlier, I'm glad that the breakouts and all that stuff happened this weekend, and knock on wood, hopefully they won't happen next weekend for the photos. But we're gonna go and run some errands. Charles is hopping out of the shower right now, and then we're going to get the show on the road. Good morning, everyone. So I was horrid about recording anything yesterday after I gave my update saying that we were going to Kohl's as well as going and getting groceries and then watching Love is Blind. I just completely failed to pick up my camera. But at the same time, that's okay, because sometimes it's fine to just be in the moment and not doing everything for content and recording stuff. I think that is something that at least a lot of the YouTubers I watched years ago that were solely vlogging channels always mentioned that they struggled with, where they stopped living in the moment because they kept thinking, oh, I could make great content with this. I could go and do this and this with this moment. So although I am a little bit bummed for dropping the ball, especially with the fact that I did want to go and try recording things more and doing these weekly vlogs, I think it's totally fine that that didn't go and happen. So we went to Kohl's. Charles got a new pair of pants because some of his pants have faded and they tend to have an outline of his phone, and I was like, I don't want that in our engagement photos, so you need new pants. So we got him a pair of pants, and then we got me this nice light cream sweater. I was really hoping for something that was just white, because the image that I had in mind for what I really want my outfit to look like was something that was going to have white, and then I could easily go and layer and just kind of take off those layers just to make it a lot easier for outfit changes and stuff like that. But all the white tops that they had, I kid you not, were so see-through. They were just so transparent. And yes, I could wear like a tank top or something underneath, but I really wanted to make things versatile and really easy to go and switch out. So I ended up just going with a cream sweater that the material was so soft, and I might have to go back there because there were a few other colors that I really loved. But since I was using a gift card, I didn't necessarily have unlimited funds on it. And so I was just like, no, we're gonna hold off and wait until next time, and if they still have the sweaters and I like this one that I got, maybe I'll go and purchase a few other ones. So I think outfit wise I have what I'm hoping for. I just need to go and try them on later this week to see how it goes. I do also have a remaining pimple here that I got over the weekend, so I'm hoping over the next couple of days that that will fade and go away and we'll be good. We ran our grocery errands, and then we came back home and watched Love is Blind, the Colorado edition, and good grief. All the teasers that I've been seeing about how people have been saying like, hey, Colorado, are you okay? Denver, are you okay? Honestly, I think it perfectly epitomizes what the dating scene is like in Denver, Colorado. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier in this video, dating in Denver was very rough when I lived there. It was where I experienced a lot of toxic relationships, a lot of gaslighting, narcissism, just a lot of those things that you never wish anyone to experience when they're in a relationship. And so I feel like a lot of the frustrations we're seeing with certain people on the show, it's very accurate about how horrible dating is in Denver. And I know a lot of other people might go and say, their own state or city has really horrible dating. I think out of all the seasons on Love is Blind, this one is very accurately portrayed. So that's my 2 cents there. Charles and I do have a couple of people that we do really like and that we're rooting for. And I don't necessarily want to go into spoilers because maybe you're like me and you haven't watched the show yet, or you're kind of waiting for the rest of the season to get released before binging it, because binging shows, I think, is something that's more enjoyable because you don't have to wait for the next one to come out. And unfortunately with Netflix, they've just been doing these little things where they'll release small little portions at periods of time. So I'd definitely be curious to see who everyone's kind of rooting for, who they're frustrated with, because oh my gosh, there was one, I think it was still when they were in paradise, because right now where Charles and I are at, I think we've just had one episode where they're back in Denver, they're back in their real world, and so their lives are intermeshing. But when they were still in paradise, there was one conversation and one argument that Charles and I were so frustrated. We were just grabbing our heads and we're like, this guy must have had taken drugs or something, because what he's saying is not making sense and it's incredibly infuriating. So yeah, that was kind of how our night ended. We just watched so many episodes that when we looked at the clock, we're like, oh no, we need to go to bed. So that's probably where I'm gonna end the video here. This is probably gonna be one of the shorter weekly vlogs because I just failed completely on picking up my camera. But hopefully this coming week I will pick up the camera a lot more and we will have engagement photos to look forward to, because I'm planning on vlogging at least the area that we're gonna be in, and Charles's birthday where I make his serial killer birthday cake. It is a tradition, and I will go into more details about that in this coming week's video. You will have already seen this outfit because I was trying to go and wrap up the previous video because I've been failing on doing closings. But this is a new week for the vlog, and this week we have a lot of fun things going. It is going to be an extremely busy week because Charles's birthday is on the 15th, and then we have engagement photos over the weekend. I believe we're also going to dinner with Mama Charles this week as well, and then I don't know if we're doing a friend get-together for some ramen for Charles's birthday, so that is to be determined. I don't think we'll know that until the next couple of days. And then we're also doing a combined birthday celebration with some of our friends that we've met through Twitch. We went on a trip to Tennessee a couple years ago, or maybe 1 year ago. Time is kind of blurring together, but I do have a vlog where I got to go and see all those friends in person and also do a little haul of all the fun little memory pieces that I picked up there. But our friend Nick, which I'll link his channel below if you like gaming footage like Twisted Metal or a new skating game that came out. He has a couple of channels that he goes and plays that. And then my friend Wade, who's his wife, she also has some gaming channels as well, so I'll link them in the description. But Nick has a birthday that's very close to Charles, so we've been every now and then doing combined game nights where we'll do little birthday celebrations for both of them. And that will be Saturday once we get back from engagement photos. So like I said, super busy week, but also very excited for it. Very grateful to have just this great group of friends that we do things with, even though we live in different states and we're in completely different time zones. So yeah, that is really exciting. I do have this nice flannel that I got. Unfortunately, this flannel is a little bit too big, so this is one of the outfits that didn't make the cut for engagement photos, which is totally fine because I do need to kind of filter out some of my clothes. I'm not someone that really does clothes shopping often. I'm a comfy, cozy girl that's not really into fashion. But some of my clothes have gotten a little bit more worn or I've grown out of. So I need to go through them and kind of filter them out and then probably donate them because they're a little bit more worn. So might not be the best to go and bring to a place like Plato's Closet to try to go and sell. So yeah, I need to go and do a closet clean out. So maybe I'll do that I think I have time off during Thanksgiving week, or I'll do that over the winter time because we get some time off from my company and it's called Winter Week. So maybe one of those times I'll go and do a closet clean out. I don't know if I'll film that unless that's something that y'all are interested in, but I've been talking for a hot minute, so I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna continue drinking my cup of tea because it's starting to get a little bit not as warm and cozy. But I'm excited for this week and I hope you are too, and I'll talk to you soon. So sadly, it looks like my little propagation idea didn't work. Granted, I did not know what I was doing, and what I did was basically just wet paper towel with the leaves, and then I put them in this bag to hopefully like keep humidity in there. But obviously it didn't work, which is fine. I didn't know what I was doing, and these were extra leaves. But looking at the other plants, they're still looking good. I did not go and change their pots. I feel like since it's starting to get cold, that probably won't be a good idea because that might go and put them into shock, and I don't want to do that. So probably next season I will do that during the spring. And then looking over at our ping pot, I just went and watered it. So here are how our pings are looking. These ones are seeming okay. I went and took off a lot of the extra leaves, and this one seems to be doing fairly well. This one I'm eyeballing. I'm a little nervous on them. And then I think I'm gonna need to go and try to dab the extra water here so that doesn't kill those leaves. I haven't gotten any more gnats, which is sad. I've been hopeful. But yeah, so far all of these are doing fairly well. So today is Tuesday. I kind of felt a little bit crummy yesterday. So I have a raised desk and I have this walking pad that I've been meaning to go and use a lot more often just because hi Nugs. Oh, Stretch. Just because, thank you. Just because I work from home and so I'm a lot more stagnant. I don't get as much movement as I would like. Compared to when I used to work in the office and things like that. So I had my walking treadmill up and was using it while I was working, but then I started feeling a little bit dizzy and a little bit lightheaded, and I wasn't doing it at a really fast pace or anything like that. And I probably used it for around 15 minutes. And afterwards I was like, yeah, I don't feel good. I'm gonna tap out. And Charles and I did not go on our nightly walks that we've been trying to do. Woo! Nike almost hit Woes with her toy. So yeah, we didn't go on a nightly walk yesterday, but today I didn't use my walking pad. I did go and stand on and off with my raised desk, but I think what I'm going to do is probably use our bike that we have downstairs, and I might go and watch some YouTube videos on my phone and catch up on some people's videos that way. I usually like watching YouTube videos on my PC just because like I find it a lot easier to go and respond, and a lot of the time my responses on other people's videos tend to be paragraphs long, and I find if I do it on the phone I usually lose my train of thought and I can't respond to every little piece I want to talk about in someone's video. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but that's my personal preference, is to watch the videos on the computer. So yeah, I'm gonna go and do that, and then afterwards I'll probably go and shower, make some dinner, and then work on editing my vlog. Well, Nuggy's finally eating. But yeah, this week Charles has his parent-teacher conferences going on, so he's going to be home a little bit later tonight, so that will kind of help at least going and editing on my end. I also would like to do some more reading, and yeah, I think that's kind of the game plan for myself. Nuggy will probably be sleeping on this couch or in her bed over there and maybe harassing her brothers. As far as book news, I've been working on reading Immortal Dark. I think I started it around the 3rd or 4th of this month, and I finally finished it yesterday. I'm still trying to figure out my thoughts on this book exactly, and with my review that I left on Goodreads and Storygraph, I kind of was a little bit back and forth. I think ultimately I decided to leave it with 4 stars, but as far as my thinking and what I'd like to articulate about it, I'm still a little bit confused because with this book there was a lot of world building, and I don't always read fantasy just because sometimes I'm not in the mood to try to connect the dots and put everything together in my brain. I just want something that's a little bit quicker and more of a fast-paced read, but also more so along the lines of a thriller or a horror book. And this did have horror pieces to it. And I feel like with this book, even though it was listed as being a YA book, I honestly don't know if I would say it was a YA book. It was pretty dark, and as far as the main characters, I really struggled with them because they were morally gray, but they seemed more like they were in line with being more on the evil side than the good side of the morally gray spectrum. So I'm still figuring out my thoughts with this book. I know the next book will come out, I think the 4th or the 6th of November, so I won't have to wait too long to go and pick that one up and read it. But yeah, I'm still putting my thoughts together for this one. But after I finished that book, I was like, you know what? We need to pick something that's a little bit more, oh, good stretch, Nugs, a little bit more of a lighter read. And so I looked at the books that I had on my Defend the TBR, and I decided I was gonna go, whoop, bookmarks falling out. I was gonna go with Tusk Love by Thea Guanson. This was a book that got created basically in Critical Role Campaign 2, and then look at it, we have a physical book, which is so awesome. So yeah, I started reading this. It seems like it's gonna be a very quick read. I only started it last night when I was going to bed, and I got to page 26. And it's under 300 pages, so this should be really quick. Very much is going to be a palate cleanser. It's fantasy, so it's placed in Tal'Dorei and everything, and Matt Mercer's world. So yeah, I'm excited that I'm finally getting the chance to read this. Charles saw this book in bed with me last night, and he got very excited. So I know after I finish it, he's probably going to go and want to borrow it, which is fine, but also he has to take care of it and make sure that no pages get bent because I will be upset. Yeah, I'm gonna read this and then go on to some other books. I also have something that probably at this point I can go and talk about, but you'll probably see later that I'll have an announcement video of it. But I am going to be a host in the Dungeons and Dragons readathon. I think I'm getting that name right. If I'm not, I'll place it here, but I'm going to be a host for that. I'm going to be Team Druid, which I'm so excited for, and I need to put together my books that I want to read for that because I'm competitive and I want to make sure that I'm going to read books that give me extra experience points. So I got to plan that out. I've kind of been glimpsing at my bookshelves to see which books feel right and which ones I'd want to pick up for next month. So if you're seeing this video before next month happens, join Team Druids. Just saying. I'm gonna go and figure out which YouTube videos I'm gonna catch up on and jump on our bike for a little bit and work out because I need movement. I'm feeling like a potato and it's not good. Plus my asthma's been acting up now that the weather is getting colder, and I'm feeling a lot more raspy and everything. So I'd like to kind of work out just to get more exercise on my lungs and yeah, do all that fun stuff. Yay! Yay asthma. Yay long COVID. Woo! But yeah, I'm rambling now because I'm procrastinating. I don't want to go on the bike, but I got to. All right, bye. All right, presents are all wrapped up. I totally forgot to film it before putting them together, but I tend to go with themes for my presents. So this one is kind of D&D nerdy style. So here we have some dice, and then I have this cute little book dragon, and then a couple of Critical Role books. So super excited to go and give those to Charles. I'll also be making a cake for him tomorrow. So now I think what I will be doing is I need to go and edit my vlog. And then I'm gonna go and take some time and probably relax, probably play some Palia because I've been very obsessed with playing that game. And then maybe I'll try to read some more Tusk Love. We shall see. It's 6:16 right now, so usually with vlogs it takes me quite some time. I like to usually go and line up the video in chronological order. Then I'll kind of go through and chop up portions that seem like they're dragging on too long. And after I have everything that seems like it is going to be the perfect time that I'd like, that's when I usually go through and go and add music. So vlogs, at least in my experience, probably take me the longest because I go and watch the videos over and over to go and add things. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why vlogging has never been the easiest for me. It's usually the turnaround time when it comes to editing. Hello! So it is Charles's birthday today, and honestly, I'm a little bit behind schedule. So after I got off work, I finished editing a video that I'm going to have live, which is my weekly vlog that I've been doing. And that took a little bit longer than I expected. So I'm gonna hop in the shower and then run downstairs so that I can start making Charles's cake, because I'm gonna need it to go and cool down enough to go and put frosting on it without, you know, the cake kind of falling apart because it's too warm. But I was going to go and try to get my vlog finished editing the previous day. However, I've just kind of been noticing that I get pretty weak after I've been working out, so I need to increase the amount of protein I'm eating. And yeah, because of that, I just was out of sorts and I couldn't go and edit my video as much as I hoped because my focus was just so off. So I have the video edited. It's good. It's meeting my standards, which I'm not quite sure what my standards are since I'm not good at vlogs yet. And it's just a work in progress, but I enjoyed it very much. I really loved the portions that I had just with my excitement for the Critical Role watch party that Charles and I did for campaign 4. We're currently behind on episodes, so we need to kind of find some time to go and watch the second episode just so that we don't fall behind, because I think this week is the 3rd episode. I'm kind of lost on days and numbers right now, but yeah, I'd like to just be an episode behind and not multiple episodes, because that will just be so difficult. If you're a fellow critter, you know how easy it is to get far behind and how difficult it is to catch up unless you binge the episodes, but they're usually around 4 hours long. So falling behind is not good. And then, let's see, trying to think of things. Oh, and then Ivy released her video for the D&D readathon that she's doing, and I am a host for Druid, so I'm so excited about that. I'm probably going to work on a last minute video, which, as you can tell, I have a lot of books that I am putting together, not only for my own TBR, but also just to give a list of recommendations for people so they know what books you can go and read if you want to be on Team Druid, and what books will go and count for that. So yeah, this week is probably going to have 3 videos, which is a bit wild. Not normally what I do, but if that doesn't end up happening, then I can just have the video out next week. I feel like when it comes to my videos here on BookTube, I tend to see better results and better interactions on weekdays. So I think people are like me, where they like winding down their weekday after they get off work with YouTube videos, and then on the weekend they're busy spending time with family, doing fall hikes, you know, things like that, and YouTube isn't really your go-to during that time. So try to figure out which way I want to do it, because I would like to go and promote Ivy's readathon to the best of my ability. I am so excited, and I won't lie, I've been recruiting so many people to join Team Druid, but I'm babbling. I need to run in the shower, and then I'll bring you downstairs so that we can go and make a cake together.
Shed a tear when you see her eyes water. She's a theosophy. Another name.
Hello everyone. So last night did not go according to plan. It took me a little bit longer than I had hoped to get my video for my weekly vlog updated. Just took some time to go and chop things out and everything. So by the time I finished that, I went and hopped into the shower thinking that we would have plenty of time before Charles got home so that I could make his cake. However, as soon as I got home, or as soon as I got out of the shower, next thing I know, I'm hearing the garage open and Charles got home. So things did not go according to plan, but it was fine. I ended up going and baking the cake while Charles talked to me about how parent-teacher conferences went and everything. And then he opened up the presents that I got him for his birthday. And while the cake was cooling down, we watched Critical Role Campaign 4 Episode 2. And we just kind of worked on catching up with that. And then once the cake cooled down, then I ended up going and decorating it. And I'll leave photos of what the cake looked like for this year. And I was looking through the images, and this was the 5th serial killer birthday cake that I made for Charles. And the reason that they're called that, I don't know if I necessarily explained that in this video, and it is because decorating cakes are hard. They are not easy, especially depending on the type of frosting you get. And I tend to get like the really cheap store-bought ones, which aren't always the most user-friendly, especially for beginners. So I've made all these other cakes for Charles over the past few years, and I try to make ones that are different and they have like funny little sayings that match up with the year he is for that year, and they're really fun. It's just basically become a tradition at this point, and Charles was actually saying that this cake was the best one yet, so you know, just gonna pat myself on the back for how well that one turned out. But now I'll have to go and decide what I'm gonna do for next year's cake. And it's just this fun little thing that we're excited for. But Charles was kind of joking around like, you know, this could be difficult when we have kids in the picture, which probably won't be for quite a few years because next year's the wedding, and you know, saving up money for some of these things would be great. So Charles was basically joking around because he's a teacher, he's an elementary school counselor, and he was like, you know, when we have kids, this might be something that will take some time to explain, because what if the kid goes and asks their friends like, hey, what was the serial killer cake you got this year? And the kid's friends are probably going to be like, wait, what? Next thing you know, we have to go to the school to answer some questions and say like, hey, it's just this funny little quirk that our family has. We have traditions and we're a bunch of nerds. So Charles was talking about that last night, and I was like, yeah, that could be a complication then, but we have plenty of years until that point, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so the cake did turn out well. It was a huge success, just the time and stuff didn't turn out right, because ideally what I was thinking about doing was I was going to set up the camera so that you could see the process of making this amazingly cursed cake, but it just didn't happen, which is fine, you know? So now for the rest of this week, I'm gonna need to go through my outfits for the engagement photos just to make sure like everything looks okay. I also got my makeup, but I got my Il Maquillage makeup. This is not sponsored. I paid for this with my own money, but I really like their foundation. I feel like it not only is great for color matching, but also looks great in professional photos. So I ended up going and ordering some new foundation for that. And I think what I'm gonna do between now and Saturday is probably go and put the makeup on and everything, and then try on the different outfits that I'm thinking for the engagement photos and figure out what I'd like to do, because we get 2 outfits to wear, and I just want to have something that's easy to change top wise, that's going to be comfy, because if I'm not comfy, I feel like it's going to really show in the photos, which we don't want. So yeah, I'm gonna try that stuff on. I'm also gonna go and paint my nails. I do have a scratch that I have here, which is unfortunate. I don't know if I'll try to cover it up with makeup, but that is the game plan until Saturday. Very excited for the engagement photos, but also getting so nervous because the leaves are starting to fall and I just need them to hang on until Saturday. Mother Nature, please work with me. On the bright side, we do have a lot of gorgeous leaves that have fallen in our backyard, and it's so beautiful. So if that's also the type of environment that we get for the photos, I'm not upset about that because that is also beautiful too. And then I need to figure out which books I want to take with us for our engagement photos. Lots of things to do, but excited for all of them. Hello everyone, so it is the day before engagement photos. I have my makeup on, so the Il Maquillage one that I told you all about, and I think it will work. At first when I was putting the makeup on, I was like, wait a second, this seems lighter than what I remember, oh dear. But I think we're good, we're all good. It looks fine. I also just realized I forgot to whiten my teeth. I was gonna put on whitening strips. On camera they seem really white, which is fine, but in person I feel like they're not as white as they used to be, and that's because I stopped using whitening strips. But I have a new brand that I've been meaning to try because I've heard that they're a lot better and less damaging on your teeth. So I'll probably use that in preparation for the wedding, but maybe tonight I can go and put them in. But now that I think about it, no, don't do anything different or bizarre the night before engagement photos. That just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. So scratch that. I will not do that. Mark my words, Rochelle, if you're editing this and you do this and something happens, I told you so. But anyway, so I think the makeup looks good, which is great. I meant to put it on sooner, but work got a little bit busy, so I wasn't able to do so. But I think it works. It looks fine. I'll probably go and check it more in natural lighting as well, because it's a little bit on the darker side in my office, just with the light changing and things like that. The light isn't hitting my office as well as it used to, which, I mean, is great for October video vibes and making it a dark and creepier look and setting. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go and change into an outfit for my D&D readathon host video that I'm gonna go and film. And then after that, I'm probably gonna go and try on the outfits that I plan on wearing for engagement photos. Like I said, I planned on doing this earlier, at least if anything before work or during my lunch break, and just time got away from me. Oh, I thought my hair was like really sticking out. Yeah, I guess she kind of is. Oh dear. So yeah, I'm gonna change into my outfit because I feel like it would be a lot more fun to kind of do it more themed for the D&D announcement video. I want to encompass the full nerd. That is what I am wanting. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I will probably show you the outfits that I'm thinking for engagement photos. Charles has a D&D session tonight, but he has told them specifically that they can't go past a certain time because we have to wake up early tomorrow. So anyway, I'm gonna go and change my outfit and everything, maybe put on a little bit more whimsical looking makeup, and then go from there.
All right, so we got here a little bit early. We had to change locations because the one we had originally decided to go with, it was way too windy there. So our photographer called us to see if we could switch locations. So hopefully this one will work. It seems really pretty here, and thankfully a lot of the leaves are still not changed. A lot of the leaves are still really pretty. They haven't lost their leaves or anything like that. So definitely hopeful. I accidentally had my water bottle spill all over the place, so it kind of has soaked one of my sleeves a little bit, but hopefully it should be fine. I tried to go and dry it with the air vent, and it got some water on my pants too, but I think those are good as well. Negi doesn't know what's going on, but yeah, hopefully everything goes well. Definitely seems like a lot of people are already coming to this trail, and I tend to be a little bit more on the nervous side with people, so we'll see how everything goes. So we are getting some coffee because we woke up super early. But photos went well. We're really excited, and our photographer was so much fun. It didn't feel awkward or uncomfy or anything. And Nuggie was in so many pictures and she did such a good job.
I wish she behaved like that normally.
Yeah. She's such a good girl. But we got some Polaroid photos that they gave us. So I'm excited to look at those when we get home. So I'll probably show them to y'all as well.
I'm tired.
All right, that's the update.